Hello everybody, and welcome to part 6 of Assaltya. Towards the end of the last part, started making some militaristic mistakes, but it turned out not to be catastrophic. Looks like they're beating up on our siege tower, which is not nice. But that's the thing about these things, is they're nigh on indestructible. I suppose for this, I could have chosen non-flatland. Oh well. Let's see. Camp over there. Okay, well, that's going to take some time to get to. Let's see here. We'll just put it down for whatever it's raising. Oh, yeah, because we have the... since we're raising a city, it's technically annexed, and that means we now technically have a city that does not meet the requisites of the national epic. So let's see here. We actually have this guy. I wanted him to put the hammers towards the national epic. And this will be burned down next turn. Tell you what. If we chose a worker and then finished the chop, this would be down to 1 turn, and then any spillover would go back to the national epic. And this kind of works out too, because I was of the mind that we were like 1 unit short as far as human monuments. So I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and finish this chop. Brings that down to 1. Let's get this guy out of the city. I like 3 tiles away because that means we could get back across the river if we absolutely had to. And he can man this city next turn. It'll only be a warrior for a while, but keep in mind we have 8 iron total and only 6 swordsmen, so we'll be able to upgrade him eventually. And as far as human monuments go, it could just be a scout, so it's not that big of a deal. Okay, so this guy comes and mans this city here. And, oh, we have more construction project to select. Let's see, shrine is finished. Let's definitely get on the royal library. And now let's go to the main event. Okay. He wants to cross the river, always. Now this means that we are threatening a double slap on the city. If and we can get rid of this guy here. We're going to need that tile for this guy to charge into. Shouldn't be a problem. Let's say shoot here. We could step and shoot. Start making our way here. Oh wait, there was a ship nearby. Where's our scout? Yeah. There was a ship over here, a Korean ship. So once we conquer this, the ship might come over and try to pillage things. So we're going to want the comp bows to stick around for a minute anyways. So stepping and shooting is not really going to accomplish anything. There we go. Okay, so let's... this is likely to continue to be the patsy. We can step this guy and pillage here. Now he's ready to slam into the city as well. So we're ready to capture the city next turn for sure. What we can do is move the Great General down, because now everybody involved here is there. This city's burning down. We want him to go be the human monument over here. Looks like we're going to get the policy next turn. So we'll be missing out for a turn, but what are you going to do? Alright, so we're going to have to keep an eye on this, of course, just like before. Try and get the most out of it. So that should fall next turn. He's coming over to be the melee over here. You sit and wait. There's no defensive, there's no like fortifying or anything. We're just going to heal 10 and then take whatever they give us, unfortunately. Alright, so this guy, now, keep in mind, like I mentioned just a second ago, that they do not enjoy terrain bonuses, as far as like he's not getting the plus 25% defense here. So these options here are strictly on offense. It's also worth noting that these are melee promotions, and anything we can upgrade these to will be ranged. So this is short term. All the same, everything we see that we want to conquer, including down here I believe, yeah, is on flatland, so we'll take flatland. As for this guy, he's about to become a pikeman. He's going to be involved in our wars as well. I know I was saying he could be, you know, part of the death squad out here. There's the boat. But if he's going to become a pikeman, we should have him on our front lines. The only reason not to is because our swordsmen are a bit more experienced, but some of them are occupying other cities, as seen over here. So let's just go with flat there. Policy time. All right, so we have 7 happiness, 19 culture per turn. Now we have 9 happiness, 23 culture per turn. That seems low. So I'll tell you what, let's slot all of our people in. That goes up to 10 there. That goes up to 11 there. Let's see, and then we'll have the city occupied next turn. And go from there. Alright. Pyramids have been built in a faraway land. We don't much care about that. We already had horses, so finishing this only puts another hammer on a tile we're already working. And we can put a hammer here. And of course we check in 3 turns to go. So yeah, let's get back to the national epic. As far as this worker, we want to keep him near because we do want a grass farm come time for civil service. So let's just get him into borders. He can get to either one of these tiles, step start or cross the river to start if that's the one we pick up. We're just going to put him on alert. He's finishing up the road, so our gold per turn is going to be in the tank for a second. Well, I mean more than a second, but now let's go to main event first. Main event first. Okay, so he wants to step and shoot. He needs to get into here. He can shoot from there. He can shoot from there. So let's get this guy out of the way. Yes, towards. Okay. I was just thinking and imagining a scenario where it didn't go quite that way. Alright, so we step these guys up. Step, shoot. 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 Slap. Let's see. He's threatening to do about 59, about 54. So I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and put a slap in with this guy too, just to make sure. The reason being is because this guy is so damaged, we absolutely want him to end up in the city tile so that he can heal up more rapidly. And there we go. Optics. View the city. We get 2 buildings. Not great, but you know, it's a start. Definitely create puppet. We get a worker in the deal, which is nice because we're missing out on happiness here. This needs repaired. We got a hammer we could put on there. Alrighty. So, who's got the soul? We've got the soul. Alright. Moving on. Moving on. Alright. We do not want to flank this guy. I was looking at it off camera. The extraction here, because of the rivers and all the rough and stuff, if he can stay here, he gets over a turn sooner. Well, I guess that's not true. I wasn't imagining here. So, okay, we can go with the flank. I don't know why I didn't get that on off camera, but I did here. Oh. Did this series just get exciting or what? Shaka's on our continent. Wait a minute, we met him by conquering a camp on the coast, so we might have only found his boats. He might not be on the continent, although I wouldn't expect anybody to be able to cross deep water at this point, so I'm going to go back to my original assumption that he is on our continent. Let's check our military versus his. We are above. We're also about to finish civil service. We kind of cheated our way there because of conquered techs. So I really, since I've never played this area before, I really have no idea, no way of guessing at this point how close he is to impies, which are an offense are actually quite devastating. And they're hard to take down, not unlike our siege towers. So that would make for a very interesting fight. I don't think we've kind of been playing light on the military as far as our offensive force, simply because the siege towers put in so much work. Here, well, I'll tell you what, let's not make too much judgments looking at this graph. Let's get a look on the actual world. His science is terrible, which is both good or bad. Good because he's that much further away from impies, presumably. Bad because there wouldn't be much we could steal from him. But that's okay. Wiping him out early or significantly reducing his impact in the world is worth its weight in gold. So even if we didn't get any text from him, we would definitely want to check him. Anyways, I do see horses here. Let's see. He doesn't have much in the way of gold and whatnot. So since we just met him, let's see if we'll get full value. We do. So I'll tell you what. Let's get his embassy and not give him one, because we don't need him knowing where we are. Okay, so we finish the camp, we get the gold, we get the culture. And indeed, he has boats. So some of that military score... Oh, look at where his capital is. It's flatland. I'm happy to see that. And it looks like it would be pretty easy to... Well, not only easy, but necessary to take him out before we go for Venice. Downside is he does have boats, so if he knows where Seoul is and that we own it... Hey, you know what? It's a really good thing that we took the city over. Let this be a lesson. Order matters. Order matters. And this is why I always speak in terms like main event. Get the main event out of the way first. In this case, it meant we captured not only a city, but a capital before we met Shaka. Anyways, getting back to my last thought was that since we are coastal here and he does have boats, in the event that we declare war on him, which is inevitable, he may send his boats here and we cannot oppose them at the moment. So we'll probably leave one of our comp bows behind to act as like an eastern death squad, and maybe we camp it in Seoul. And then also at some point we're going to want to annex this city, and when we do, maybe we buy a couple of triremes to just park here and have that between the bombard and tanking, and our comp bow will be the defense. Okay, those are all my thoughts there. Great General's fine right where he's at. Okay, so let's finish up the scouting here. This does look very much like the end of the line. And then hopefully we can keep an eye on this boat as we move forward. So much talking that turn. I just want to double check, make sure that we did address Nimrod's potential growth here. Okay, it's down to 2. So let's just go ahead and do a quick check while we're thinking about it. 2 turns to growth. 1 turn. That 1 food did make all the difference. Great. And a reminder, when it grows, we have faith focus. It'll populate here and then count the faith. So moving it here actually loses nothing and in fact gains this tile's yield. So it's good that that did not go forgotten. Okay. Siege towers are going to take a turn to heal up. This one several turns. Let's see. The worker... since this only takes 2 turns, I know there's travel time, but I'm thinking since this only takes 2 turns to put a hammer down. No, let's get the happiness online first. I was just thinking since this is going to take some time to develop, get the quick stuff out of the way first, but no, happiness is more important because we are going to be taking more cities, and then from here he can do this, and then bam, bam. Repair, step repair. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's get these guys across the river. Boats here. We can step up here. Alright, so this is indeed end of the line, but this allows us to keep eyes on the boat. Have him come over here. Kind of a bit of a traffic jam here. Heal. Great General will just step because there's no reason not to. Alrighty, worker, let's see, worker here. We might capture another worker down here. Oh yeah, we can step this guy forward. And, well, let's use our second movement point to go here. Because either this is going to end up here this next turn. And then here 2 turns from now. 2 turns after that, so 3 turns. Or he'll end up here, in which case we step pillage, get out of bombard range. Easy gold. Easy gold either way. But yeah, we'll probably pick up another worker here. And this one worker can kind of handle everything that's going on here. Second worker means this gets up to speed a little quicker and we can actually start bridging these 2. We did manage to get 5 pop. Let's count this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 tiles. We wouldn't want to build it too certain, but that means a lot of pre-building we could be doing. And also once we hit civil service, this city does have a lot of grassland, so the city might actually grow in ways we don't necessarily want it to. Alright, so I see he wants some crab. We do have duplicate crab. We are risking it getting pillaged, though. We're doing everything we can to make sure that doesn't happen. Let's take a look at this guy. Looks like he's got movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then after that move and kill. It's not looking good. Our gold's doing good as far as our lump sum, so worst case scenario we could annex, buy a workboat, and repair. So I say, and especially since this is almost the full value of a workboat, let's go ahead and do this. It's a risk. In fact, 172. Let's see if we can get his other in iron out of him.
Di sicuro?
No, we'll
No.
make this deal work. So we lose 2 gold, but we get the iron now. Yeah, sure, why not? And now we can upgrade this guy so our military score not only looks bigger, but looks like it's climbing, which will matter in case of... How can he covet the lands we own? He doesn't know the lands we own. I do see this is available for us. Byblos. Nice, we're not even strong over there. Sweet. I lost my train of thought. Okay, yeah. Here's what we could do. Let's go to trade. Make peace with is not an option here. So he hasn't met Korea. And if he hasn't met Korea, maybe he met the Mayans at some point. Or maybe it's just his disposition. He just automatically defaults to that. That could entirely be the case. If you guys know what the explanation is there, let me know in the comments, because that would be interesting to learn. Alright, he's finishing up the roads. These guys are just putting on alert. Kind of want to develop this, but once he's done, he'll get here to make some roads, and that's GPT, and our GPT's suffering. So we would go without a food or 2, because civil service, for like a turn or 2 in order to get our gold up now. That sounds like it's probably worth the while. Okay. So the question is, do we want either of these guys coming over here? Actually, you know what? We have a camp up here, don't we? Yeah. So let's go deal with that. Okay. Okay. So I guess this is where we want to keep our eyes, see where the caravan... Hey, it's coming our way. Look at that. Nice. Our lump sum gold is actually pretty good. So there we go. That worked out well. Right now we grow again in 9. Of course, civil service comes before that, so we'll have to wait and see. Him, I'm just bringing down pre-build roads. We can chop this down because it's on plains. I think it was on plains, yeah. So we can chop this down without altering the tile yield. And, of course, it's the one that we can't start this turn. Grumble, grumble. No big deal. Alright. So there we go. See, our gold per turn says -6. We finish this. It says -7. However, next turn is going to reflect almost a +5. So we're paying for 4. We're getting more than 4 back. This is now profitable. And we'll come up here and do the same thing over here. In fact, let's have this guy pre-build this tile out. Because he jumps up here. And then these two finish these two. He could step down, pre-build while he comes here. And then from here, maybe he goes up and does the sheep, since we'll have Petra then, hopefully. Beeline. Is Beeline the way to go? Boom, boom, boom. Alright. So it don't matter. Beeline's fine. Alright, let's get that gold. Boom. Nobody here. That's good to see. Who knows what's here? We will find out soon enough. Oh. I thought we counted out to where this boat was going to be dangerous. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's perfect. That's perfect. So hopefully he doesn't dilly-dally around next turn as well. We'll bring him down here because he can step and shoot from here. That gives this guy the opportunity to heal up one more turn. He doesn't really need to heal up. So let's get him rolling. This guy can cross the river, but we want to lead with melee. Or do we? Is it going to matter? No. He can take the back seat. In fact, one could argue that taking the back seat helps with visibility. Although it looks like with this wall of rough, the visibility would have been the same from here. I guess it don't matter. Alright, but we've got everything planned out there. He's just going to sit tight. We'll step here for the last... Let's see, diagonal here. Yeah, we could afford to step out here too. Now we get really good eyes on everything that's going on in the future. General influences everybody from here. So let's just stay there. Oh, whoops, I had gone to Siege Tower first. That's okay. Alright, so we'll keep an eye on him. I just realized our great general is Timur! Alrighty, so city connection established, losing grasp on Hanoi. They are allied, so we'll still get units from them, just not African forest elephants. Bing! Necessarily. I don't know if there's a chance or not. Right, so have him come down. He's coming down. He's healing up one more turn. Right, just one more? Yeah, that should be fine. Alright, and he's gonna come over to help. No! No, 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 no. He's not coming over to help. He needs to be the human monument here. Okay. Let's see. Step and shoot. I'm shooting with these two first, just in case that's good enough. It's not, so let's finish them off there. And we've preserved our crabs. Yay! Alright, so I meant to leave this guy over here as a human monument, but what we can do next turn is have him cross the river, and then as he's coming south, he can be the human monument, because this guy is going to want to get into the action starting next turn. So let's go ahead and get that great general out. Alright, so we just have to remember to bring him back, because that's not good enough. Okay, so if we absolutely wanted to, we could land here right now. We'd be within bombard range of this, but he would likely favor this. We take the camp, we get hit, and then maybe we come around the backside and then come over here. I don't know. Is it worth that for the 25 gold? Maybe, because getting hit as more XP and great general points, and having a presence over here to kind of antagonize things might be useful. On the other hand, if we wait till after this is captured, then this will likely have time to respawn another one, and then we get some culture from killing it ourselves. So I'm thinking maybe, yeah, pre-built there. Maybe let's just chill. What we can do is come here for visibility. Should we step over here? No, we have presence over here. Let's stay on this side of the river. Spread things out, so to speak. Alright, we'll have him cross the river. Maybe what we do is we have him become the human monument. That way, because he's faster, we'll just clear this camp nice and quick. The time it's sitting around, it'll probably throw off a unit, which is nice. More culture for us. Just chopping that down. It says that it's going to change the tile yield, but in this case it's not. So let's see. Yeah, let's get started on that farm for sure. Okay, we're all good here. It's looking real good. New unit from Budapest. I heard the thunk. Wow, lots going on this turn. Alright, so we get our great profit. That's good. Let's see what's available to us. Asceticism still available. Nice. Alright, so we mostly want religion for happiness and gold. So I will definitely take this, because who knows how many cities we're going to have. In fact, right now the only city under the religion is our capital, and it has a shrine. So this will be +1 happiness immediately, and then we can go from there. It's almost always, in my mind, a choice between religious texts and itinerant preachers. I think itinerant preachers makes a lot of sense for Liberty, but I think religious text makes a lot of sense everywhere else. With Liberty, because there's so many cities that, you know, you can literally have 2-3 cities influencing together. It overpowers more than this does. But I think, given our current situation, this is better. And religious text helps us as far as the current problem of the city actually having a competing religion. So, yeah, we can actually take a look here. See how now it says 7 instead of 6. It's only 1. It's only, what is that, 16%? So, I mean, it's not great, but it's something now. And, of course, it gets stronger come printing press. Nineveh grows. So there we go. Lots and lots and lots of hammers here. We like that. Declaration of Friendship has expired, and we're not going to renew it because it's going to take some time to deal with this. In fact, I never did look. He opened honor, of course, but he only has 3 cities. Nevertheless, it is going to take us time to get over there and stuff. I would be tempted to try to take it, just because if we do seize it now, there's a chance he will accept, and that will keep him giving us good trade deals. But we don't know what is beyond. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 civs on one continent. It's possible there could be 6, if they're not distributed evenly, which does happen. Another thing to consider is that our siege towers do have a window of efficacy. We'll keep them beyond that window slightly because the sapper promotion is so strong, but there will come a point in time where we're going to need to upgrade them. In fact, I might argue that it might be a good idea to have a third one handy at some point. For multiple reasons. We saw in Seoul, one almost got shot down completely. If he had to back up, it would have taken us longer. Once Seoul was captured, one was completely beleaguered, whereas if we had three, the other two could just heal up quickly and go on while the other one catches up. Like, the two could have come over here while the catch-up one comes here. One of them gets beat up here, comes over. The other one becomes the second. Hopefully this illustration is what I'm talking about. And the best part is that these things will never be wasted because we do have the military caste policy. We're always going to need to have some units to occupy our cities. And once we're done being on the offensive, or these become, not worth toting around, we just park them in a city and then free up some of our more effective units. That's my thought on that. So anyways, let's Buenos Aires searches for science. We'll be able to do that because we get a tech. Keep in mind that's not science per turn, that's text gained. We gain text by conquering cities, but only... blech. Well, okay, thank you for making my point. This is exactly what I was just talking about. So what we will do, I know I was talking about having this guy come be the human monument here, but what we can do is actually have this guy be the one to come over and help with the camp. He comes here, and now this guy can go on to be our scout between us and Shaka. So what would be the best way to do that? I see a hill here, so we kind of want to squeeze in here maybe. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Seems to work, and then we'll come here. So we can get a head start on scouting since our scout is way over here and only moves 2 tiles per turn. And this guy is not that far behind. With the road tile, he'll be able to jump to here. In fact, what we can do is compare these guys. This would be the better one to bring. So that's fine. We can just swap them out. Okay, fully build road. Fully build road. Yeah, that's kind of gross getting a catapult as our gift. But what are you going to do? I think I'd rather step towards this city for visibility. We're still not seeing anything. That might change here. Okay, 2 workers and a warrior, 2 developed tiles. Okie dokie. So let's have this guy heal. He was crossing back over the river. He needs to get a head start over here. And unfortunately, I just boxed in these guys. We'll just have this guy go wide because he can. That way we diminish the effects of the traffic jam going on here. Alright, so he gets started on the stone. I know it takes longer, but we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, just to put 1 hammer down on a tile that currently the governor's not working. Obviously, if we repaired that, he would, but civil service is right around the corner, so maybe not. So, in fact, that tells me that I really want to get a hold of one of these workers so we can come clean all this up nice and quick. Might as well heal this guy. He's sitting there, and where else is he going to move? Scratch that. Let's come here. That way, if the warrior dares to show himself, we can start, like, getting the punish on. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so we could cross the river and then get the warrior. Okay, that's a horse's end. Hanoi wants Taoism, no longer ally of Hanoi. Well, the overlap there is nice. Looks like we can tribute Buenos Aires, which is the one down here. We could do it for a worker even, but no, we want that sweet gold rolling in. Okay, so the fact that Hanoi wants Taoism is really nice because I already mentioned in the last part that we are going to want to buy a missionary to spread to Nineveh so that there's no lapse in faith gain. And then with his other charge, we can just come up to Hanoi to maintain them. Scout here, not afraid. They don't steal workers or pillage tiles, but they will capture caravans, so that's worth noting. We decided we want him coming out rather than him. And so that means he will have eyes over here first, but not by much. And we could trail if we absolutely wanted to. Might as well set up before we alert. Growth in 5, so let's keep the plains, rivers flowing. He always comes down. He always comes down. He crosses the river. He becomes the human monument. Okay. Scout wants to come here. Alright. So we could have the spearmen cross and then start beating this guy up. Problem is we now have 2 units within bombard. But they're relatively tough units. Not so much him. But that's fine, because we might use this land to like upgrade them to pikemen anyways once we capture the city. Let's move him here. I'm just thinking if we move these guys in to bombard range, maybe we can use that turn to bring this guy in and start hitting the city. We have to attack across the river is my only trepidation here. Let's do that. We'll bring him down, bring him this way, because there's nothing really going on in this direction. We'll bring the general down to here, at least. And I think let's just sit tight. We can do all our pouncing next turn, because next turn he moves in here, he can step forward, and now we're threatened double slap along with he'll cross the river, he'll be to here. We'll have a couple combos that can join in. So maybe this guy should actually start heading, the third one should start heading this way rather than over here, because if we don't, by the time he gets there, it'll be over, I think. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we do want eyes over here, but it's just going to be slow going, because it does look like he's got a second city over here. Scout has to sit tight unless we trade with the spearmen, which I don't want to do, so that's just going to be the way it goes. Okay, we are past the half-hour mark, so I'm going to end it here. I made the last part a little long, which I know you guys don't mind. But there's going to be a little bit of a tactical thing. I think this part of it's going to be a pushover, so I'm not too worried about that. But I did have to take my car in today, so I'm short on time as it is. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you're enjoying the series as a whole, this part in particular. Please leave me a like and subscribe if you feel that I have earned it, and I will see you guys in the next part. Take care.